On a sunny October Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia Tech snaps a 3-game losing streak and beats Boston College 37-17. Rich Waltz along with Keith Jones. The storyline going into this one, change in defensive coordinators. Al Groh out, Charles Kelly in, and the defense responded for Georgia Tech.
Only gave up 3 points in the first half. Reddick was successful throwing the ball in the second. BC gets a couple of touchdowns. But overall, you got to give Charles Kelly's defense a B-minus. Certainly an improvement. Gave up less than 300 yards total. They've got some things to build upon, a little momentum going.
Offensively, Georgia Tech impressive, especially in the first half. You take a look at our game recap. The kicking game was not a strong point for Georgia Tech. They had one block. They missed a couple of field goals in this one. But the quarterback play, especially starting with Tevin Washington, was.
Tevin Washington ended up with 2 rushing touchdowns, both of them coming in the first half. And he was able to guide this Georgia Tech offense very, very effectively.
Yeah, the first half offense over 400 yards in the first half. That's the second touchdown by Washington. Now, 2 quarterbacks would play. Vad Lee would come in, the redshirt freshman, and Lee had this great scrambling run, 24-yard run, to make it 21-3.
We were told before the ball game that Lee would see time. He had good practices. He got in rushing. He also threw a touchdown pass.
Anthony Autry hauled in that throw from Lee. So on to the third quarter, and Chase Reddick and Boston College finally got rolling.
Very impressed with Reddick, Rich. I thought all throughout the game, with the lone exception of the interception, he threw the ball well. You see the post there to Amadon. BC just couldn't get enough put back to back to back to get anything going. And they had a horrendous mistake in the punting game where they roughed the Georgia Tech punter, gave Tech the ball back. But again, you see Reddick dropped right there, but he did everything within his power to try to bring this Eagle offense into the game and score some points.
Yeah, he had a couple of touchdowns dropped. This was the 2-point conversion off of the Pantelli catch, and just too much on the ground after that penalty on the punt, as you pointed out. 37-17 the final. Paul Johnson and the Yellow Jackets get the win. Numbers that jump out, 563 yards jumps out, but as you pointed out, under 300 yards of offense for Boston College. Got to feel good for Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech just eating up that clock. You see the time of possession. I think Tech was either 10 of 13, maybe even 11 of 14 on third downs. So you got to give credit to Georgia Tech. You take those field goals that were missed and the one that was blocked, there could be another 9+ points. This could have been a bigger blowout than it was. But hats off to Georgia Tech. They've righted the ship a little bit.
Jen Hildreth caught up with Paul Johnson after the game.
Thank you, Rich. Coach, that second half, maybe not exactly the way you drew it up, but you get the win.
We lost our focus real easily in the second half, but we won, and that's it's to build on. As bad as our special teams was, it's good it wasn't a close game.
How did you feel about your defense? Did you feel things functioned a little more effectively, a little more smoothly?
Well, I think we did okay. I mean, I think it's a start where we could build on. Played really well in the first half, and in the second half we lost focus a little bit like the offense.
You said you were going to play both quarterbacks second half. You did. It looked like Tevin Washington got a few more of the snaps by design.
Yeah. I mean, Tevin's still the guy that's played a lot, and he knows what we're doing. And in the crunch trying to run the ball, he's better at knowing the checks and what to do.
Top of your list other than special teams as you get ready for BYU coming in here next week?
Well, we'll look at the tape, and there's a lot of errors. We didn't get much pressure on the quarterback, that's for sure. And, we've got to hit some. We had a couple of wide open passes we missed, too.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Guys, we'll get Tevin Washington down here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jen. Next week, a better defensive team comes in here in BYU.
Well, much better against the rush. Remember, this is a Boston College team that was last in the conference defending against the running attack. This BYU team amongst the national leaders and not allowing rushing yardage. That'll be a great matchup as we look to that BYU ball game. I'm anxious to see how that works out.
Many around the Georgia Tech program feeling that this was the start of a second season. If so, it's off to a good start. Georgia Tech, 37-17 over Boston College.